The Olympics is an event where some of the greatest athletes from around the world come together to compete in their sport and prove themselves to be the best in the world. But what would happen if we took the Terrarian, a freak of nature, and had them compete in the Olympics against regular humans? For this video I have chosen 4 different Olympic events that I felt I could accurately recreate in Terraria, and we will be completing the events and then comparing the results to the results from last year's Olympics. If you enjoy this video, consider subscribing to see more like it, and if you want to see more you can like the video to let me know. So the first event that I want to try is the 100-meter sprint. Now I've done my research. I'm pretty sure you can use whatever shoes you want in this. The only really rules are that they must have a maximum midsole thickness of 40 millimeters. I don't know what that means, but I think that's just like a normal shoe. So what that means for this is that I can use, I'm going to go with the lightning boots simply because they don't have any other effects to them except the speed. But that seems like a pretty normal amount of speed. So now we have to figure out how much 100 meters actually is in Terraria. And this isn't really that difficult. We just have to make some space, which would be a lot easier if I didn't have copper tools. So what we're going to do is just going to make like a general basic area here. And I'm going to get a... do they have like... what do they run on? Okay, track surfaces are made of rubber. Are there rubber blocks in Terraria? So we're going to use clay for this. What we're going to do is we're just going to place, let's say, 100 clay blocks. So we have 100 clay blocks here, and now I need something to measure my speed and the time, which is really easy because there's items that are built in to do that in the game. So now I can see the time, which is actually frozen, and the speed that I'm moving at. So let's make a little more space here so that I have room to reach my max speed. So what is my max speed? It is 34 miles per hour, so I need to reach 34 miles per hour by the time I'm hitting the clay to figure out how far I have to actually make this platform. I'm using the basic physics of speed equals distance over time for this. Now, I did drop physics after 1 year in college, but I remember this. Okay, so from me reaching the first clay block to me reaching the last clay block, I need to measure that time. I know what speed I am, I just need to convert it to meters per second, I think. So let's try and get this right. So when I hit the first clay block, it's 137, and the edge 141, so that's 4 seconds to travel 100 blocks. I need to write this down. I'm traveling at 34 miles per hour. So first let's convert miles per hour to meters per second. So I was traveling at 15.2 meters per second, rounded obviously, but that won't make any difference. We can use a calculator to solve the speed equals distance over time. 15.2 meters per second, and we were running for 4 seconds. Obviously that's just 4 times that, but let's make sure. Traveling 60.8 meters. That was really easy now that I'm looking at it. So 100 blocks is 60.8 meters. That means that 1 block is 0.608 meters. So I think I need 164 blocks. So this here is 100 blocks. So I'm going to have to extend this by 64 blocks. So that's not too bad. There we go. So it ends there. So this is now 100 meters. I really hope I did that right. So we now have our 100 meter track. I'm not drinking any potions because that is illegal in the rules. That is performance enhancement. Actually, you know what? Every shoe has aglets, right? Surely that's allowed, right? I'm gonna say that's allowed. Every shoe has an aglet on it. At least one. So once the clock hits 1 PM, we're gonna run. Okay, go. Seven seconds. It was 7 seconds to run 100 meters. If we actually check the Paris 2024 results, that is first place by 2 seconds, by 2 whole seconds. I'm not sure about the decimals, but the Terrarian actually wins the 100 meters by 2 whole seconds. Okay, the next one's gonna be really easy to set up. It's the 800 meters. All right, let me just clear a massive path this way. You know, I really thought this was like not gonna take me ages to do, but like I'm not so sure now that I'm doing all this. It's 8 times that. That's quite a lot. All right, I've never seen a desert with such a big hill. What are these hills? I've never seen a more hilly landscape in this game. I'm trying to make a flat path Well, I can take the time to talk about the 800 meter thing, how it's set up. So it's actually a round track, but this is a 2D game. So I'm just gonna make an 800 meter long track instead. Fortunately, there's no such thing as like stamina in this game, and that gives us a real advantage over actual athletes. All right, I'm thinking that's probably enough. Let's go try and make the track. That's not 800 blocks, it's 800 meters. Wait, that's 164 times 8. 1,312. So I just have to build across until I get down to 8,687 blocks. I didn't make enough of a gap, bro. Maybe I can go the other way. Okay, we're going into the pit of doom here. It's a bit dark. Let's end this part of it here, and let's try going the other way. Why didn't I try building this in the sky? Why did I build this on the ground? Why is spawn in a little crevice canyon, and then everything else is way higher? The actual Olympics should make them run through a cave of ice. That'd be way more interesting. I'm really glad I chose the 800 meter race because I was genuinely considering the 1500, and I don't think I could have gone through with this. Okay, that's open space now. We should be good from this point onwards. There we go. That is an 800 meter long platform in Terraria, which means I can now actually do the run. This one I feel like might take a while. I think the record with is like nearly 2 minutes, which actually seems really fast. It seemed kind of slow, but now that I've actually had to build an 800 meter platform, that seems really fast. I'm already at the start though, so this is like halfway. I've only been running for 30 seconds, so I think we may actually beat the record here. Not the record. I think we may actually beat the results from last year by quite a bit. We're onto the desert now. It's like 3/4 of the way, I think. So we're not going to get it in under a minute, but that would be a bit ridiculous. And now we're just entering the jungle. This is right at the end. Here we are. We finish at 1:17, a minute and 7 seconds. Let's go check the results. 1 minute 41. So yeah, we have absolutely destroyed the record by 30. Why am I struggling to do maths? Why am I struggling to do basic maths? 34 seconds. So next one I want to try is long jump, which I think shouldn't be too difficult to set up. It's a 40 meter long runway. I think that's 66 blocks. All right, let's do it here. Let's just go up a bit. So 66 blocks worth of runway. And then we want to land on sand. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate what color block this is. That way I can differentiate how many blocks I've traveled. All right, I think that's probably as far as I'm going to be able to jump. So when I reach the red block, I jump. Let's go. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 13, 14. That's like 15 blocks. I think I'm gonna do better. I took my hand off the movement key as I jumped. Okay, so there's a bit of momentum when you land, so I need to track where I land when I first hit the ground. So it was that green block again. Let me try a few more attempts. I have no idea where I landed then. I think it was that green block. Alright, I'm going to have one more go. It was this green block here. Let me mark it with one underneath. So I traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 13, 14, 15. I traveled 17 blocks, which is 27.9 meters. Wow, that is not right. That's 10.4 meters, I think. The furthest was 8.48 meters, and we got 10.37. So it does win, but it's also just about won by a little bit. So I feel like that's a realistic result. I'm saying that to reassure myself that I've not made any mistakes when trying to figure out the conversions. Now, the last event I want to try and do is the 50 meter swimming. I'm going to be going off the freestyle results. I think that's the best way to describe how you swim in Terraria. You kind of just bob up and down. 50 meters is 82 blocks. Okay, that is a 50 meter pool. I should be able to just fill this with water if I stand here for long enough. So this will be my surface that I run off into the water, and then I need a way to swim. Obviously, I think the flipper is going to be the easiest way. Is this count as swimming? I mean, it's freestyle swimming, so all right, let's try that. Ah, no! Great, let's go. I don't know what the most effective method to move is. And there we go. So that was 9 seconds. I have absolutely destroyed. Did I build the pool right? Why was that such Oh, why take less than half the time? So I kind of just destroyed the record there. So as we can see from these results, the Terrarian is more than capable not only of winning Olympic events, but also of destroying previous world records at the same time.